I'll level your timbers.
Not now.
It was well timed. It was well timed. I'll give you that.
We're
MBM is working out for
recording,
you.
Well, now you've got a cold open. Hello, everyone. Welcome to YAR Talk. I'm Gemini Does Games. Hang on, wait a minute. Something seems wrong about that.
No, I'm Gemini Does Games.
No, I'm Gemini Does Games.
No, I'm Gemini Does Games.
Actually, I'm not
no.
Gemini
Okay,
Does
Fred,
Games.
Fred,
That
he's
narrows
got
it
it. He's
down.
got it. I'm Resulka, and basically I'm taking over YAR Talk this week because Gemini couldn't make it. As you see, I have three lovely gentlemen with me. I don't need to introduce them, but they can say hi.
YouTube.com/IkiFoo, Twitch.com/IkiFoo.
Subscribe to IkiFoo, subscribe to IkiFoo, subscribe to
Buy Lamplight
Yeah.
City, buy Lamplight City, buy Lamplight City.
Definitely, you should definitely do that last one.
I did the other day, actually.
3 times.
Oh,
thank
good.
you.
Yes.
I only bought it once.
Get into
You know,
that.
I'll be honest.
I didn't buy it at all. I beta tested it.
Ruining our Steam algorithm. No, I'm kidding.
She is known for ruins.
So are you, though, and you two will be as well.
I will
But
be, yes.
yes, that will be out by now. Actually,
That's
haha! I've been on
true.
YouTube 10 years.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Congratulations.
Wait, that means we are known for ruins.
Yes, you are.
Put
Yay!
the fucking objects down, Gordon. Hey.
Okay, so it has been a very busy week in game news because it was E3. But first, Adventure Jam is over, and I failed to do anything. Hooray!
Ah.
Oh, hang on. I got something for that.
Oh, yeah, I'm expecting it.
The sound man, yes.
Say that again.
I failed to do anything. And we have to take a moment because I can hear myself. Who's not got their sound set up correctly? I'm looking at you, Francisco.
I have my headphones in.
That doesn't necessarily
always
mean your
takes care
laptop
of the
isn't
problem.
making noise.
Well, it's not
That's
my
true.
laptop, it's my desktop.
It doesn't necessarily mean your desktop isn't making noise.
Just,
Hang
all right, I'm
on.
going to check my
Let's
settings
check
as well.
my settings.
Let's all just have a quick
Voice
peek, make sure.
activity,
Because it could
input
also be
device,
Gordon, because sometimes he leaves his thing on.
microphone,
I'm looking at my speakers.
Da,
They
da, da,
are
da, da,
off.
da, da. Perfect. Okay, good.
speakers, video settings, everything's
Okay,
fine.
mine's correct.
My
Okay,
speakers are currently unplugged. So.
I must have just been loud enough that I spilled through someone's head sound. I do that.
Maybe I'm just deaf.
Maybe,
and I have
maybe.
my volume too high. Anyway.
Anyway, that short break in the transmission aside, Adventure Jam's over. I failed to do anything because, unfortunately, life, work trip and such.
And Mark.
There we go. But congratulations to anyone who did put anything out, who even started, like me, started, and then unfortunately life prevailed. We will get there eventually, my brothers, and sisters, and little kitty cats that have decided to make adventure games for the first time.
But
Either
not
way,
the second time.
No.
Just make sure they include a pause button.
Oh!
Goodbye.
Now you don't
Yeah,
do that.
Meow, 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 meow.
But it has also been E3, as I mentioned, and a lot of games have been announced, such as the creators of Layers and Fear and Observance almost completed a Blair Witch game. Like,
Almost?
What?
Yeah,
What?
it's coming out in the next couple of
Wait,
months.
Oh,
Blair Witch game.
Really? Blair Witch
Yeah.
game?
Yeah.
That's
What
relevant.
decade is this?
You know what? I'm picturing it like Slender Man, and it's
Well, like
Maybe.
what's it called? It would suit the Layers of Fear sort of style very well, but it's kind of like still like what wasn't Blair Witch 1996?
99, I believe.
99.
It's a
Yeah,
little later on. Yeah.
I have
Oh.
some incredible news regarding that game though. This just in.
Oh,
The new Blair Witch game will let you pet a dog.
okay, it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile.
Petting the dog
What-
dance. Petting the dog dance.
Oh wait, you have to. Yeah, you have to pause it. Anyway, we also have the Darkling Room has announced that they're doing another Darkfall game and Lost Crown
Yes.
game.
Storm
It's
Warning,
just
oh my
in
God.
it's just in time for me to actually start the series, even though I already own most of them.
You really should. I highly recommend those. They're like they're
Yeah.
up there with my favorites, man. They're so good.
It's been one of those things that
Atmosphere.
they've been sitting on my desktop for a long time, just staring at me, and I go, nah, later.
Darkfall 2 is the best one. Lights out, best one.
There's also going to be a sequel for Read Only Memories coming out next year.
Mm.
And more specifically for FMV lovers, the creators of the Shape-Shifting Detective, they're kind of doing like a new episodic game that's kind of an interview with the two of them. It's called Dark Nights with Poe and Munro. It's a 6-part free episodic game, I think, that's running off their website. And I played a little bit of the first one, and it was kind of like, They
Timeline-wise,
say-
does it take place before or after the shape-shifting detective?
I don't know, because it's literally an interview with the two people who made it.
Is it the
Like
people who made it? I thought because Poe and Monroe are characters in shape-shifting detective.
Yeah, but the thing is that
They're the
like,
radio
as it
hosts.
starts, you actually ask them about the Shape-Shifting Detective, like as in like it's
Oh.
a game.
Oh,
Ah,
Yeah,
how
Yeah.
meta.
yeah,
So like
Okay.
behind the scenes with some interactivity.
yeah, and like like it said stuff like, you can touch us, you can make us do stuff, and it's like, but this is an interview. I'm kind of like, what? So check that out.
Check it out.
And the last game announcement I have is The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets. It looks a little bit like Black and White. It's in VR, but also kind of Scooter's Magical Castle. They seem to be like these islands that you can like do stuff with, like pour stuff on to grow plants and all that. The story apparently somehow is about you and your grandfather trying to work out your disturbing past with your sister about all these missing pets. That's not ominous at all.
sounds pretty wholesome.
Yeah. And of course, the bigger news of all, Double Fine just got purchased by Microsoft. Like
Oh
what?
yes.
Yay.
Not EA.
Yeah, it is definitely not EA.
Wah, wah.
And the last bit of news that I have is ScumVM are currently working on Blade Runner working.
I saw that. I saw that.
It
I
is
saw that.
currently, apparently it currently works on the latest dev build, and they're looking for people to test it. So if you've got a copy of Blade Runner and ScumVM's dev build, go for it.
I have both of those things.
Looking at this guy.
But also...
And also, don't come to
I-
my Discord channel and just quote stuff at me, because you will get blocked.
That's what.
It's a
was
thing.
being
It's a
quoted-
thing.
Oh dear. Why? Why any
It's
of
a whole
that?
thing.
Anyway,
All right. Well, how about you guys? Have any of you got games or games news or?
Well, I was gonna talk about Darkling Room, but
Okay.
but
but
I've been waiting for Storm Warning and Black and Rock. I think is the next Crown
Yeah,
game.
Black and
After that, we've got the last Crown, and it's going to be sort of a trilogy kind of thing.
Oh, so it goes from the Lost Crown to the Last Crown. I gotcha.
Yes. But Storm Warning looks really good. If you haven't seen anything of it, I highly recommend you look it up because it looks really good.
Most excellent. Anyone playing anything at the moment?
So I was just going to hijack a little bit back on what we were talking about. Was there any word on telling lies? Because that's been sitting at coming soon for quite a while, and I wondered if it had any presence.
I'm pretty sure I saw Sam Barlow like talking to somebody on some colored carpet at E3, but I didn't get any specifics.
No, there's no updates on that. Last thing I've got here is March.
It's the creator of Her Story, if you're unfamiliar and can't be arsed clicking away to Google it. Or maybe you're on your phone, because those are kind of single task objects.
Those are
devices.
Things, yes.
Why did I say objects?
Yeah.
I have some news. It's not quite game related, but it is adventure narrative related. I came back from Narrascope recently. The first annual Narrascope.
Give us your book report about how it happened.
Well, it was a conference.
Oh.
People converged, and then they dispersed.
How drunk did people get?
No, it wasn't that kind of conference. No, it was actually very, very nice.
Well, you've been to a convention, not a conference, so...
Yeah.
That's true. I have nothing but good things to say about Narrascope. It was its first year, so of course everyone was kind of expecting growing pains, but there were surprisingly few. Aside from things like maybe, people not being aware that there was an expo room, it was very well put together. They fed us lunch both days, which was very considerate.
Ooh.
Very nice Cornish cat.
So was that everyone or just talkers?
Everyone, all the attendees, all registered attendees got free lunch or got included lunch both days, which was very kind and considerate. It was at MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Also, I can hear myself, so I'm not the culprit here. It was in this hold for editing, and it was held at Cambridge in MIT specifically. So I kept expecting to see Matt Damon trying to solve equations on the blackboard, but alas, that was not the case. But people did write all sorts of fun things like text parser inputs on the thing. But it was a conference focusing not just on interactive fiction but narrative games. So they actually had like a museum setup of old text adventures and stuff.
Nice.
And all of the talks were very interesting. Unfortunately, it was a multi-track conference, so I didn't get to see all the talks, but I know that at least 10 of them were recorded. So those should be up and online soon.
Did you end up doing a talk?
I didn't. I submitted, but unfortunately did not get accepted, so maybe next time. So yeah, basically it's kind of, I guess, now the American counterpart to Adventure X, except it's slightly more interactive fiction focused than Adventure game focused.
Well, Adventure X has been saying Adventure X has been saying that they're about the broad spectrum of adventures, not just like point and clicks and such. So
and there was some overlap. I mean, there was people from it that I had seen at Adventure X at Narrascope, like Ian Thomas, for example, gave a talk, and Emily Short was there. I know that she's come to Adventure X at least briefly in the past.
She gave a talk, I think, the first year I went. So
you went, 2016. That's right. And Gene Mochi from GDC was there.
I love Gene.
So there was also some Adventure Party overlap too. So. Yeah. It's nice to have more narrative conferences and more overlap. So I highly recommend Narrascope. And they already said they're doing it next year. So
nice.
Place and it's still TBD, although I kind of hope that they stick to Boston, but we'll see. That's all.
Yeah. All right, well, anyone playing anything? I know Francisco's been playing a game that he can highly recommend.
Played a game called Metaphobia today. It came out today. It's a free game on the AGS forums. It's very much inspired by Gabriel Knight, and it's a political thriller and very interesting.
It looks real good.
It does look real good. A lot of love and effort went into it.
Any particular field that you think got a lot of attention? The animations, for example.
Oh, sure. The animations are all rotoscoped. It's very nice to see someone else embracing
cool.
rotoscoping,
Yeah.
and not just rotoscoping, but like sub-pixel animation rotoscoping.
Oh.
Yeah.
So very, very much more detailed than I would ever do. So my hat's off to them for that. And yeah,
puzzle design.
Puzzle design's great, with the exception of one, which shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
There's
Well, even
one-
like, what's it called?
But you can't make a perfect. For a
no one
first
can make
outing, you
No.
can't make a sparkling gem. You have to have a little bit of sticky residue.
It's free and fully voice acted, so that's good.
Exactly. It's also free. It's fully voice acted. The music is quality. It's by the same composer as Kathy Rain. The story is interesting. There's some cool puzzles involving translations, which are always fun.
Ooh.
So check it out. Metaphobia. It's about a 3 to 4 hour experience, I would say. So it's not too bad.
Not too long, but not too short.
Not too long, not too
Sounds
short.
good. I haven't actually really been playing any
It's
adventure
great.
games this week. I've been playing Tekken 7.
Yes. Nice.
But anyone else playing adventure games?
I mean, it's adjacent, if anything, but I've been going through the Deus Ex Mankind Divided. All of a sudden, I got the urge and just decided, I'm going to play this again.
I never asked for this.
Francisco, I think you've got a little thing in your... there.
Sorry, I never asked for this.
Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just needed to augment it a little bit.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Bit of augmentation is always good.
I've been playing on my channel Titanic Adventure Out of Time.
Oh, excellent.
That's fun. But I've also
How are the
been
light
playing Fallout
fixtures?
76. They're pretty good. They're not great, but you can't really look at them. You can only see them in the peripheral vision. So that's probably why.
Why aren't they the main focus? I mean,
Right? Glad someone gets it.
yeah. It's a bit weird how Titanic seems to attract various adventure game developers towards it. I don't know why that would be.
It's a mystery.
Your face is a mystery. Wait, that wasn't an
It is
insult.
a mystery.
Sorry, default response.
But light fixtures in Fallout 76, though, I found a really good one.
Oh god.
I'm going to put it on my light fixture blog.
That very slutty light. You're right. You showed it to me.
Wanderer, this mission has gone too far. We need an intervention. Nobody needs to go
stop
into.
anytime I want. I can stop anytime I want. I just don't want to. I like light fixtures.
Nobody should have to go into Fallout 76 to get those light fixtures. It's just inhuman.
Hey, I can stop anytime I want. I just don't want to.
Can you stop anytime I want?
No.
No.
Well, it's worth a shot. I've done what I can, folks.
Wait. Not even for his love and affection.
It's all about compromise.
Nah, that's a deal breaker.
Oh.
We found the line.
Yeah. I guess it's time for Super Happy Fun Time. Hosted by.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Time for
I'm sorry. You're right. Super Happy Fun Game Time. As hosted by Dish Mountain.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I'm not
Sorry.
ready for this. Wait.
Yes.
We need notebooks. Shit.
It's a risk I'm not prepared to let slide.
take, yeah.
I must do.
Okay, if I was to give this game a kind of cheesy name, it would be, oh drat, I've lost my MacGuffin. Basically, I'm going to tell you about a random inventory item from a random adventure game. They're all things that you guys should have played. There's probably only one that kind of maybe some of you haven't.
Oh, but we've heard this line before.
Mm-hmm.
No, I specifically thought of each of you in mind for this.
Good.
There will be no points for this, unfortunately, because this isn't officially Douche Mountain. But I'm going to tell you about how you get this item and how you use this item, and you have to tell me what you think the inventory item is and what game you think it's from.
Okay.
So here's the first one. No, I officially there is no dig.
Okay.
Because I remember quotes from the dig. I don't actually remember the dig.
Was there not a bot going around a while ago just taking out random tweets and saying, I think this is related to the dig?
Yes. No, you're right. That wasn't a bot.
Oh, no. I was fooled. Heckin' bamboozled.
Okay. So here's the first one. So you won't have this thing very long, but you will have a whole heap of fun accidentally destroying it. Your body's just been pinched and it's real cold out. To get this item, you have to do a shit ton of wank. You've traded an item of fine artistry, which you got for annoying a dwarf after returning his missing spinning wheel.
King's Quest.
Wait, say that first part again?
You won't have this thing very long, but you're going to have a lot of fun accidentally destroying it. Your body's just been pinched and it's real cold out.
Oh, it's the sled from King's Quest, the toy sled from King's Quest 5.
Very good.
See ya. God damn it.
I saw you saying King's Quest and I was just like, I'm not jumping on it yet. Okay. This thing cannot be cut. It cannot be weeded out. It dies in the face of depression. It must be dug up, and the only thing you can dig it up with is a knife.
Okay, I know what this is.
Yes.
This is the bonding plant from Return to Zork.
Very good.
Damn it, I knew there was going to be a Return to Zork in there, and I only played the demo.
The next line was, and yet it's the only thing that will get you to the most depressive comedy club out there, the Cliffs of Depression. If it dies there, you'll be stuck there forever. Okay. When you see this thing, it's out of the reach of your window. You'll have to drop some bread near it to cause a bird to land near it, causing a chain reaction which frees it. You then use a chain to haul it up where you can grab it. You will use this to get a key, but it's a bit more complicated than you think to get this key. You need to combine it with a clamp and a clothesline, and then you put your lips together and blow.
Oh, The Longest Journey. It's the, the inventory item is the rubber ducky.
Very good.
The inflatable rubber ducky.
I should have just guessed that. It was the Longest Journey and a puzzle. Should have just gone there, but... Oh, I'm failing at this. I haven't got one so far.
Okay, without this item, you'll not be able to pass through into the warm sanctum of your beloved and tell her about her eyes. You don't even know how to describe the color of them.
The police badge from Gabriel Knight.
Very good.
Damn. Snap. That's good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Usually I get applause, but it was the eyes. The eyes is.
Yes. Well, yeah, because that is
the eyes. The eyes. This is
it's one of those weird lines that always stands out. In that one, it's like I don't even know how to describe that. Like,
if I can bottle that, then I'd make a fortune.
Damn it, IkiFoo.
Real yeah.
Oh, Tim Curry.
All right.
If I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Here's the last one.
You're getting the vapors.
So, I got this from a doctor at a mental facility. He's real interested in the contents of my pockets. This item will help me get past a secret hidden door in the basement with a hidden number, and it allowed me to go help my new best friend Joe. And then I lost this item. It is synergist. And then I lost this item by using it to hold open an elevator door. It was real heavy, man.
Oh God.
And she's all green, man.
What was that? What was that?
What did he? I remember the puzzle. He opened the elevator door, but I don't remember what the item was.
Okay, yeah, but she's more green. Fuck, what was that? What was that? What was that?
It's the most ridiculous thing you could hold an elevator door open with.
I remember commenting on that. It was something ridiculous, like a pen or something, but it wasn't a pen.
Was it shaped like a pen? A corkscrew? A fishing rod?
A syringe?
Oh, it was from a book. A paper.
What type of book could it be? You read from it.
Poetry.
That's what you do with books?
A book about the
it's a journal.
It's a journal.
Oh.
Oh, it's that guy's journal that. Oh, why didn't I remember that? That was ridiculous.
Why are we
all
remembering
impressed
this?
I am all impressed that you got it synergist though.
Well,
anyway, I
as
hope
soon
you
as
all
you said
enjoyed.
doctor,
Yeah.
I was like, this
Yeah,
synergist.
It's just, yeah, but I hope you all enjoyed this new game mode to Douche Mountain. I think it's going to be coming back.
Yay.
I enjoyed it because I actually scored on it for a change.
All right, that brings us to our main topic of the day, which is games, specifically adventure games, that became books. I mean, this isn't the best example of it because this is a companion book, but game books. Also, broadly, you could also interpret this as a book series that became games, like The Witcher.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
That did
Books were
happen.
first.
And then he wanted more money.
And apparently in Poland, that's a thing that can happen.
Yeah, and he got more money. He got more money. Okay. So, the example that he did get more money.
Did he get more problems?
Oh! He probably wanted more money, so yes. So the examples I have here, well, they're companion books, but they are the most crack-ridden things that you can have out there. These are written by we'll call him Sierra-adjacent man called Peter Spears. And he makes some very lofty claims in his King's Quest companion collection books, such as the fact that
you might want to strap in here, folks. Just get the popcorn, apply the seatbelt, hide the sharp objects, whatever. Just take a breath and go.
Daventry apparently is real, and it's been emailing this guy, Jane Jensen, and Roberta Williams since the 80s.
How did I have a question.
Yes.
How did Daventry get email before
that? Was my question as well. He said he's been getting contacted by a Daventry royal scribe called Derek Carlavagan.
The scribe. Easy.
That guy.
Yeah. He can write. Actually, King's Quest VI is the actual guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles is written by him, so he's got some credence on the name. But the other stuff is kind of weird and out there. So, like, as an example, during the King's Quest 3 section of the companion book, he has the spells for King's Quest 3. They all have something wrong with the spelling of every single spell, so you can't actually use it to complete the game. But, which is not helpful. But one of the spells has this little pop-out box that's called the Banner of Bruce. And if you mention this to Darth Helmet 86, he will go absolutely mental. Basically, it's a very short...
What was that? Banner of Bruce? Okay.
So it's
about Banner of Bruce. Okay, yeah, I'm
absolutely fuck mental.
Now, it is the very brief story, an entirely unnecessary story of the Hamlet of Bruce, where suddenly a hulking green monster comes and attacks them, and suddenly Thor comes down. We don't know why he's there, but he just shows up, and he destroys this great big green honking thing, and so they put up a banner in Thor's honor, and that became known as the Banner of Bruce.
The Banner of Bruce.
Wait, where did we get Bruce from? Wait, what?
The town was called Bruce.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a guy called Bruce.
If you haven't put the pieces together,
Well,
and have never seen a Marvel film,
you shouldn't tell Darth about this because you'll make him angry, and you wouldn't like him when he's angry. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, thank you. That's all you really need to hear.
I got
and then
that
it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because Darth turns into a hulking green monster when you mention the Banner of Bruce to him.
Wait.
And then he goes
Delete.
Yeah. Then he'll go and find a place called Bruce, and it'll happen all over again.
We'll look forward to that.
So really, you're just keeping the time loop going.
Exactly. I'm ensuring our nation's survival. I've lost the thread. But yeah, so companion books, there aren't that many of them. They actually seem, mostly the companion books I've seen have been Sierra titles, all written by this guy. Like, I recently got this one for Leisure Suit Larry, which I unfortunately barely read. It has a very interesting opening for the 80s. Like, it talks about transgendered people in a positive light, and I'm kind of like, what? Okay.
Surprised to be sure, but welcome one.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry's got no problem if you're man, woman, or other.
Yeah.
As long as you wear a condom.
Which is fair.
Which is fair.
So it's against lesbians, because neither of them can technically wear a condom.
Well, there's lady condoms.
There's lady condoms.
I mean, you could wear stuff
I can't believe we
wear
just
the
said
condom with.
You can wear a condom. It might not be effective, but a little
wear
difficult
it
to
on your
see,
head.
perhaps. Yeah.
Or on your kneecaps.
Like in the Naked
These
Gun.
things that are, no, we won't. But there are also tie-in books for Sierra games. There's the Gabriel Knight books, which are kind of a bit weird because the one for Gabriel Knight 1 is clearly written just before she started working on Gabriel Knight 2. So the facts kind of have changed, and it feels like a... Do you feel like it's a walkthrough?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You very kindly gifted me both the Gabriel Knight novels, and I got through maybe about day 4 of the first one before I was just like, I can't. And I haven't read the second
it's
one,
just a
although
walkthrough.
I hear, it's basically just a walkthrough. I hear that the novelization of the second one is actually good, but I haven't.
Yes, the second one is
around to reading
entirely worthwhile. But yeah, like Gabriel Knight 2, it feels like she actually wrote that one before they actually started filming that, and it fleshes out. It fleshes out a lot more, especially with the whole Von Glower relationship with Gabriel. It doesn't come off quite as creepy, with the coming in and touching of the chest hair and the you know.
Actually, I did consult the Gabriel Knight 1 novelization to clarify that scene in the Snake Mound, because I was always under the impression that like Gabriel went to like the scene where Wolfgang rips his heart out. It's a weird scene. I always thought that it was like Gabriel, like there was some weird voodoo magic that made Gabriel, when he stabbed the mummy, like somehow the power made Wolfgang's heart come out, but apparently Wolfgang rips his own heart out, which is impossible.
It's a hell of a thing to do.
Not only is it impossible, but like remember he physically goes and puts it in the trough. That's not just like, I've killed myself. You deal with this.
Maybe
it's like flip, funk.
Maybe he was old and had a calcium deficiency, so like his rib cage collapsed when he stuck his hand in. But other than that, I can't explain that.
He would have had to have had no milk from being a small child for that to even be possible.
Well, he was German. He could have just been eating bratwurst and drinking beer the whole time.
White sausage?
German. Oh God.
Oh, the white sausage lady.
Yeah. Is she in the novelization of Gabriel Knight? She is. Does she get an expanded role?
I can't remember. I'm gonna have to read it again.
Her whole backstory, the tragic death of her parents.
Yes, her long lost love, the butcher, Laser Wolf. No, sorry, that's Fiddler on the Roof. There's also King's Quest novels, but I've never been able to get my hands on them.
I saw one in a Walden Books once.
Well, I was about to say, I think Richard Cobbett has one, but I, for some reason, never read it in the 6 months I was living near him.
I think I've only seen, in the wild, the first one, which is Castle in the Sky or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that Hear No Weevil?
No,
that's weird names.
That was the third one, which
that's the Rosella one.
I've never seen. I think that was the last one. But the first one was Alexander, and it was Castle in the Sky or Castle in the Clouds or something like that. Let me look up.
Which is more Rosella's thing, really.
Actually. But I know nothing about them. Except
No.
I don't even know who wrote them. Was it Roberta? Was it Peter Spears?
No.
Now, if it was Peter Spears,
neither.
it sounds like you would know it.
Whoa.
If it was Peter Spears, I would have all of them. I would be obsessed with them.
Oh dear.
I think, like, what's it called? Because we ended up reading the King's Quest V section at that first GDC because her crabbiness, who was with us at that time, she wanted to know the reasoning behind the cheese puzzle at the end of King's Quest V. And there's something like it's something about Graham, as he smelled this foul machine, was suddenly reminded of fondue.
Oh.
That's the whole reasoning behind it.
Circle.
We started this day by talking about fondue.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. I found the Wikipedia article. They were published by Boulevard Books. The first one was called "The Floating Castle," and it was published in 1995. Written by Craig Mills, placed somewhere between King's Quest 4 and 6. It follows Alexander on a quest to discover what is behind the mysterious floating castle and the monstrous invasions over the kingdom.
Behind the mysterious floating castle? Not
Yes.
within the mysterious... I'd be more interested with the within.
Listen.
And I've got a problem there with the timeline. I've got a problem there with the timeline because King's Quest V is literally the morning after King's Quest 4.
Oh yeah, that's true. And King's Quest 6 is literally like
6 months later.
It's a few months. So it could have been in the months between 5 and 4.
Oh, you
I'm
mean
sorry,
5
5
and 6.
5 and 6.
We went back in time.
Maybe in the floating castle, that's where he developed his stalkery tendencies, and he was like, I must go see Casino. Yes, Casino. Anyway.
By the way, please go watch the Let's Ruin of King's Quest 6 if you haven't already seen it yet.
Yeah, it's great, especially that one part where. Anyway, the second novel.
Don't get started about that part.
When the guy did the thing? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And then he said that. Oh yeah.
Then he stabbed her.
Hey, spoilers.
Wait. This sounds like potentially interesting, but also because of the timeline, but also weird. The second book was called The Kingdom of Sorrow, and it was published in 1996, written by Kenyon Moore, which is the pseudonym of Mark Sumner and Morella Sands. I don't know who they are, but they
Mark Sumner sounds familiar.
Maybe. Anyway, it's placed between King's Quest 2 and 3, and it follows the adventures of Graham, who moves to rescue an imprisoned fairy queen held by the giant Dunstan in order to return balance in nature. So I guess while his kingdom is being ravaged and dragons are eating the maidens, he was just like, well, better help this fairy queen, and there's a giant named Dunstan.
I could do an entire rant about how bad a King Graham is.
Oh yeah.
And a dad. He's the worst dad.
He's bad. But finally, also published in 1996, also written by Kenyon Moore, also set between King's Quest 2 and 3.
That's a busy few
See No
months.
Weevil?
We have See No Weevil.
It's a name that sticks in your head.
Taking place 7 years after the previous book. It focuses on Rosella just before her 15th birthday, who must run the kingdom of Daventry during an absence of her parents.
She would do so much better, honestly.
She really would.
Again, I could do a rant about how Rosella's treated.
I'll bet you anything that it's like probably framed as like, oh, it's so wacky, see no weevil, there's a weevil invasion, oh no, Rosella ordered cakes, and like she's probably framed as incompetent, but she totally would be a much better leader.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, she'll be the lesser of two weevils.
Goodbye.
Excellent.
Slash code.
So non-Sierra related, there's a novelization of Seventh Guest, I understand?
There is, and it's pretty good actually. Francisco, I already feel it's good. All right,
it's genuine excitement I'm feeling.
It actually
Listen, nothing can be worse than the series. Okay.
Hey. Yes.
That's a thing. It's a thing. It's a
But
thing.
Maybe it'll get
having
better.
said that, having said that, you can tell they're loving what they're doing making that series. So power to them. But I could have done without the suction cup gun anyway. So I actually have it up here. If anyone would like to hear a dramatic reading, I could.
I'd love to hear a dramatic reading.
So it actually puts the first game into like a chronological order. So you know the story with the cutscenes of the guests, depending on where you go around the house, it's all out of whack and you can't really follow it. The novel actually puts it in a cohesive story and gives us backstories to the guests and staff himself. So here's an excerpt from chapter 15. This is not audible. Dutton heard the screams and the answering shouts as someone rushed to the woman's rescue. Dutton was alone. Somehow they had all split up. He wondered if Stauff had something to do with that too. He was beginning to think that nothing here happened by chance. Stauff was somewhere nearby, watching everything. Stauff would expect everybody to run towards the screams, or maybe that was the point. Maybe Stauff was looking for someone who wouldn't follow the crowd, who would go off on his own no matter what was going on with the others. It was certainly worth a try, so Dutton kept on walking in the opposite direction, down the hall and up the stairs. Brian Dutton.
Okay. That would have been real weird if it had been Peter Dutton. Not that Dutton. Not Duddy Dutton. Sorry, Australian politics.
Down the hall and up the stairs to the second floor. 5 of the rooms up here sported nameplates, one for the 2 Knoxes and one for each of the remaining guests. He quickly walked down the hall to the room with his name on it and turned the knob. At least this door opened with ease. The room was totally dark, and the dim light from the hallway did little to penetrate the gloom. Dutton felt along the wall for a light switch. There was none. He moved his hand to the left, and then he heard music.
Ooh.
No!
That's where the sample ends. So.
Well,
good.
But
there was a
but it's totally right. But honestly though, it's pretty good. It totally gets rid of all the the non-linearness of the 7th guest, so you can actually follow what is happening in the story.
Wow.
It gets pretty dark. As they expand some scenes as well. There's a particular scene with Hamilton Temple that gets really messed up. So I highly recommend it.
Does it involve real magic?
It does, actually.
I have something very similar to that, which is a 7th guest walkthrough / novelization, but it also comes with some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. And even for that particular moment, they have a little entry, which is just like, because it's all from it's Eagle's perspective, and even he's like, oh, fuck if I know.
Where did you find this excerpt from the novel?
Right there in our Discord chat.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I was just wondering if there's a website that has like novel excerpts, because I want to find a couple if it's possible, but I don't. I'm just relying on Google here.
So
selling dramatic reading, of course.
Giving you a sample.
I'll do.
Yes, please.
Oh, well, please do the Leisure Suit Larry one while I find this one.
Well, what are you looking for? I'll help you find it.
The Dig.
I should have known that was the answer.
I've actually seen that one in bookstores, and I actually read a little bit of it and almost bought it in like 1995.
Wow, you should have bought it, man. You should have bought it.
I should have had it in my collection back there, but unfortunately, I don't. It has good reviews on Amazon. Anyway, are you reading it as Larry?
I am. It's written in his voice. I have to. My luck remain with me. On the back wall was a large sign reading, "Swimsuits, half off. You can't go on a cruise with a beautiful bachelorette without a trendy swimsuit. You have to get dressed sometime and work on your tan. I walked back past this wall of men's suits that were priced in the high six figures each and began examining the men's bikini-style briefs. While not pure virgin polyester, the fabric seemed good. I picked out a little blue one that bore one of the discount stickers. Today only, half price, 100,000. I took it. What the hey? It might have been a mite pricey, but a millionaire could afford it. Spandex in hand, I walked up to the clerk. Hi there, my little al dente delight. My name is Larry. Larry Laffer. What's your sign? And it literally has 3 cash signs.
Oh.
How do you...
That's his sign?
Wow.
That's his sign. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Dollar. Our sign is dollar.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep going on? Probably not.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
I should have known. Big bucks. Any further discretion would have most likely been too rich for my nouveau riche blood. I let the subject drop and paid for my purchase. I'm sorry, but this is the smallest bill I got. Can you change $1 million? Of course, my little hoagie face. Will this be all? With tax, it comes to 100,006,050.
Jesus.
She began counting out my change from her petty cash box. 100, 2 100, 3 100. When I finally got out of there, I had a really big wad in my pants. And
really?
that should do it.
That should do it.
Yeah. Oh my god, I really
you.
need I
Wonder
should
you've
totally
gotten
find
me.
one of this. I should find one of those sex scenes.
Hang on.
Are you sure?
I found it. I mean, well, Wanderer found it, but I'm gonna find.
No.
No.
It was all Grundislav.
No. I want to find. What I meant to say was I found the scene. I want to find the scene where Brink dies later.
Oh, no.
Let me find it if I can find it. I've never read this. I just remember reading that, like, apparently they like set up camp and do stuff, and so the time frame is a lot longer than the actual game itself.
I think what I gave you is actually the whole book.
It is the whole book.
I didn't realize
So
that.
it's time to control F. How many? 380 instances of Brink. Oh no. What about Cliff? Oh, 1 of 3. Okay, 1 of 3. Let's see. The Cliffs.
Oh wow, I think Larry has a breakdown halfway through Leisure Suit Larry 5 in this.
Oh.
Because he starts telling Patty's story
It took him that long?
as if it was his own. I must pause here for a moment, dear diary.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my
I found
god,
it.
this is his diary. That's what it is. Talk about my
Legendary's
Patty.
diary. Oh my god. Oh.
Self-published. It doesn't count.
All right. So this is the
Leanne
bit.
Franks.
This is
My
the
dear
bit.
sweet innocent Patty.
Oh god. Where did it go? Okay. Spreading out, they dug at the loose dirt and gravel until they could slide their fingers under the plate's curving edge. Despite their best efforts, it would not come free. Lying prone and squinting, Lowe continued to scratch dirt from beneath the metal. It's set in a groove of some kind. Maybe we ought to leave this one alone. Nonsense! Brink moved forward. Here, let me. Additional work reduced the height of the surrounding soil until they had room to shove the disc to one side. It shifted reluctantly to its right, sliding on ancient bearings. They probably shouldn't have been surprised, but were when a shaft was revealed beneath. It was wider and not as deep as the one that had led them to the asteroid's interior. I'm getting hot.
Yeah.
I can see the bottom. Robbins leaned over to peer cautiously downward. There's a smooth floor and some loose rock. No, it's Maggie Robbins. She took a step back from the opening. It looks like debris that's fallen in. The result of natural weathering processes, Brink explained. There is no vacuum here to preserve structural integrity. He glanced over at Lowe. If you would like to be the first to enter, Commander, I will gladly defer. Lowe considered. He'd been watching and studying Brink as well as Maggie ever since they'd left the asteroid. The scientist seemed as competent on the ground as he'd been in space, if a touch overly eager to leap ahead where Lowe would have acted cautiously. It was going to be impossible to restrain his enthusiasm forever. Maybe now was the time to let him take the lead for a while. It would be useful to see how he would act when allowed to choose the direction of their advance.
was at this
Blah,
moment
blah,
he-
blah, blah.
He fucked up.
Brink nodded, slipping his legs into the gap. He started to turn, intending to grip the inner edge of the shaft, and then lower himself as far as possible by his hands before dropping free.
Yeah.
It's not bad, he informed them. If I can just reach... There was the sound of rock giving way, and Robin screamed, "Look out!" as she stumbled backwards. Lowe dove forward, grabbing for the scientist's wrist, but he was too late. Brink lost his grip and fell. Instead of quieting, the rumbling and grinding grew more intense. "Get back!" Lowe yelled at Robbins as he scrambled backwards. The warning was unnecessary. She was already retreating. The entire section of ground in which the shaft opening was embedded promptly gave way. Collapsing into the chamber below, dust and echoes rose from the cave-in, accompanied by a single muted curse in German. Scheiße! I added that one for effect. Sorry. Then there was silence broken by the plastic click of broken rock settling into place. The plastic click of broken rock settling into place.
What?
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Plastic click.
Anyway, that's enough of that.
Well, at least
Very
you have
dry.
a whole novel.
Yeah, now I can read the whole thing. Thanks.
Support
see if I
your
can find-
creators, everybody.
Is there others? A search?
So I don't have
it's
many. I have odd examples, not all of them adventure game related. I don't know what they get called throughout the world, but I think most people know them as choose your own adventure books.
Ah, yes.
Which we also kind of call adventure game books over here. There are video game ones. The examples I have are unfortunately not adventure related. Sonic and an Eternal Champions one, of all things.
I love Eternal Champions.
I've not actually read that book yet, so I've no idea if it's any good, but it is there. But the only other gaming book I think I have, like a novelization type of thing, is the Mass Effect one that was so bad and so canon and lore breaking that I'm pretty sure they either pulled it from shelves or promised to rewrite it. And that is the sole reason I own a copy.
Yeah. I've got
Nice.
the, what's that called? The Throne of Baal expansion of the Baldur's Gate 2. Wow, that would have gone places.
Baldur's Gabriel 9.
Imagine that.
But that's pretty bad. I mean, not even just the fact that the name of the hero is something really stupid, but it seems mostly the author's desire just to bang one of the characters from the game. Like, yep, we're having sex with Jaheira. A lot of sex with Jaheira, and it's like, okay.
Is it told from the first person?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh, I found an excerpt that I would love to read. It is from the first novelization of Doom, Knee Deep in the Dead. This is chapter 24. This is one of my favorite passages in the entire book, and I will now read it for you. Chapter
This
24.
is not audible.
Welcome to Not Audible.
Yardable.
Yeah.
As she
It's
flipped
audible.
As she flipped the switch, we heard familiar, heavy grinding sounds outside in the marble chamber. Being near the door, I took a look-see. I wasn't the least bit surprised to see a set of stairs rising up in the marble room, leading straight up to one of the walls of fire. Arlene joined me in pondering this new development. Neither of us. There's a character named Arlene. It's it's Doom Guy's companion. Arlene joined me in pondering this new development. Neither of us seemed to be in a great hurry to run up those stairs. "Do you feel fireproof?" she asked me. I left my asbestos pajamas back on Earth. "Maybe there's an opening we can't see from down here." "We can only dream," I sighed. I went first. She was close behind, though. As soon as it became too hot, I had every intention of stopping. I didn't feel any heat at all. Arlene noticed as well. "This isn't a bit like Campfire Girls," she said. "By now, all the marshmallows in my pocket should be screaming out, 'Put me on a stick!'" "You have marshmallows?" "No." Thank you.
Okay.
I think my favorite part of that is they actually wrote look-see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah.
That was the first clue
Yeah,
early
let's
on as to how this was going to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to know if this was written before or after the Doom comic.
That's a good question, actually.
That is a good question.
Because I feel like one may have taken inspiration from the other.
It might have.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I suppose on the we'll briefly talk about the flip side, the books that became games. Pretty much every single game by Legend Entertainment. Callahan's, Xanth.
Did
Good
Legend
games.
do Blackstone Chronicles?
You,
Can't remember.
no, that's Darkstar I'm thinking of.
where does Krondor fit into this? Because I feel like Betrayal at Krondor was a game, and then it was turned into novels, and then the games were based on the novels. There was kind of a weird hybrid with those.
Yeah, it's kind of like it started as a game, then became books, and then came back.
Yeah.
For
I think
Betrayal
that's-
at Tara?
Yeah. Because there was Betrayal at Krondor, there was Return to Krondor, and then I think Betrayal at Antara was also in that series. But
I remember playing the demo of the last one. I liked that. It was weird. They're all weird.
There's a lesser known one, and kind of half counts, but Sam and Max was based on a comic book.
That's true. That's true.
Which I only found out comparatively recently in my life.
Oh.
Like within the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, I had a university
10?
friend
Oh,
who gave them, who was obsessed with the comic book, so he lent them all to me, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I knitted him a Max head for his birthday that year.
Nice.
Just like a whole pillow.
And the obvious one is the Agatha Christie games.
Oh, yes. All of them,
And
yes.
there were none. Yeah, obviously.
And then there were bums. I mean, and then there was none.
Evil Under the Sun.
ABC Murders.
Murder on the Orient Express. I think that's all.
Peril at End House.
Oh, no, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. All the Jane Jensen Hidden Object games.
I feel like we have to discount the ones that are literally just a straight adaptation, like Red Dwarf. Although that's not even official, that's a fan one.
Even Rainbow Six was a novel first, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, like
True.
Tom Clancy stuff, a lot of that was novel
yeah.
form first, and then I think just spun off to Tom Clancy writing games, and then his name being used after he died, which is morbid as hell, but...
Tom Clancy's he's like Tupac of the video game genre.
Is he though?
He's still putting out stuff.
Is he really?
But, I mean, when I woke up this morning, I was not expecting a Tupac versus Tom Clancy comparison.
You'll just go past a wall and it'll just say Tom Clancy lives.
Imagine that.
That's a thing that happens other than Melbourne, right?
Actually, I've seen that here.
Does that actually happen?
Yeah. I've seen it spray painted on walls. Tupac lives.
Literally thought you meant Tom Clancy lives.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like, that's very specific.
I mean, I get that I haven't seen it here, but
Okay.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start Tom Clancy lives. I'm gonna put that in a cubicle somewhere.
You've heard it here today. If we see it on the wall at Adventure X, we know what's happened. Oh, Dave's here.
And he hasn't said hello to us, the bastard.
Prick.
Or he gets on a plane, goes halfway across the world to write on a bathroom, and then get on a plane and go straight back.
I would do that just to freak you guys out. That's something I would do.
Thank you. You're a good friend.
Except if he's writing on a bathroom wall, I'm never gonna see it.
Oh, you will hear about it,
See it
though.
elsewhere.
Oh, I will hear about it.
Unless there's
You'll never
gender
guess what we saw.
bathrooms.
I'm gonna.
Guess what I saw in the
Bobby
gents'
Sherrill.
toilets? Why are you walking away from me with a scared expression?
Come to Adventure X, everyone. Right? Tom Clancy lives everywhere.
It's a barrel of laughs.
God damn it.
He did not like that joke.
Well, Perhaps Tom Clancy's not living anymore.
The pun police have brought in the dog squad.
Oh, wow.
The dog police, if you will.
The best police out there. The good boy police.
Until the cat police.
They're just sitting, looking at each other and barking at each other, and I don't know.
What are you doing? It's a power play.
Yeah, one of them's Tupac, the other one's Tom Clancy.
Imagine that cage match.
Some say the war continues to this day.
Well.
So I think we're gonna. I thought we were gonna draw close to YAR Talk, but apparently.
I sure hope this gets edited.
Nope.
No, it's just going up raw.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be beautiful. No.
No graphics, no nothing. All the names will be in the wrong place.
It would just be a black screen with Tom Clancy lives.
In memory of Tom Clancy. Who lives,
font or
by
something.
the way.
Seriously. Every time I say that.
Ooh. The last thing I will
Tom
say
Clancy.
about this is I checked up one of the sex scenes. He doesn't talk about the detail. That is one blessing.
Good.
And then
It just
they
says-
totally fucked.
No, it was like, what's it called? Like, dear diary, I couldn't tell you what happened then, but it
I
was.
was so drunk.
Yeah.
Because nothing happened.
Yeah,
We've
nothing
played
happened.
games,
It's
we
Larry.
know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just some bouncing. They're bouncing on some balls. Bouncing on the bed.
that's all.
That's all.
Daddy's
That's all.
just inflating
I'll be
mummy.
back.
That's how it works.
Alright, so we'll see you guys next week. And Dave's already
Wait,
left.
he left. Come back.
It's been a strange hour, hasn't it?
It has been a strange hour. Yes. Gemini, come back. We need you.
It's really. All right, this is
Are we
clearly
done?
time to end it.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
I'm hitting
good.
stop.